Welcome Wanderer, let's double your damage, and this will work on every single build and is an easy step-by-step progress for you to follow. For this I prepared 3 different examples to really cover every angle. Today's talk is all about weapon swap points, how to spend them and how to optimally empower your skills to get the most out of these weapon swap points on any character. First, the basics. How do you activate weapon sets? You pop out your skill and then at the bottom you can say use with weapon set 1, and for example for my rig, use with weapon set 2. I got once a poison skill and I got a bleed skill. Obviously, both of these would kind of need different skill points to make them stronger. And that's where your 24 weapon swap points come in. In order to activate different weapon sets, you pop open your inventory and then up here, put in a second weapon, or where the 1 and 2 is, lock to all weapon sets. Now you can use the same weapon for both skills. As I mentioned, I have a skill that uses poison and I have a skill that's a heavy bleed skill, and both of them want different skill points. Now with a weapon set 1, I can pick up poison magnitude, and +1 bonus poison. As with the lasting toxins, I can increase the duration. If I now use lightning spear, he will automatically swap over to these skill points. I don't have to press a single button. I don't have to go here, press X to actually swap between weapon set 1 and 2. No, the swap happens automatic because you set it with weapon set 1 and 2 in the skill menu. For my rig though, I wanted to jump forward and hurt the enemy. So now I'm going to swap over to weapon set 2 and I can put the points in for bonus melee damage that is completely useless for my lightning spear and also bonus melee range. In order to spend the weapon swap points, you gotta make sure that you have 24 skill points left over. 24 skill points that you haven't spent already. They're not bonus 24 points, they are 24 alternating points. And the whole trick with weapon swap points is to identify the strength of your build. In my case, lightning spear and rake. Those are the most powerful things I have. I have nothing else that I could boost with weapon swap points meaningful. And then to identify nodes that only help these skills, but not the other skill. For example, I have damaging ailments deal damage 12% faster. That's good for both. I have a 20% increased magnitude of damaging ailments. This helps both, so I don't want this in a weapon swap. But what I do definitely want in a weapon swap is up here, the +1 poison. That needs to be a weapon swap point. So again, we're going to go into weapon set 1 and put them in. One rule with weapon set points is you cannot go over gems. So I couldn't start here with the weapon swap points, go over the gem, and then bop. So you always have to go past gem slots with normal points, like I did here. Like normal points. And then I can start here with a weapon swap point. Not everything stays as you're weapon swapping though. I have here my Mortar Totem Grenadier, and as I put down my totems, I will become more tanky. Oop, see? My armor goes up for every totem I put out. Now that is because we have down here a skill called 10% increased armor and evasion rating per summoned totem in your presence, and 10% increased attack damage per summoned totem in your presence. Now the thing is, if this is a weapon swap point, as soon as I swap away, right, as soon as I go away from my weapon set 1, this would not permanently be active anymore. On the other hand, the attack skills have +1 to maximum number of summoned ballista totems. If I'm in weapon set 1, see weapon set 1, I summon the totems. And then I go over to weapon set 2 with my explosive shot. The 3 totems stay. There are permanent things that are active, and then there are things like the buffs in your presence that are not active. There's another popular example over here on the warrior. You, for example, regenerate 1% of maximum life per second while you have a totem. This only works if it's a permanent weapon point. If it's a weapon swap point, it's only active while you summon the totems, which is still fine. On the other hand, the Ancestral Unity that your totems gain 4% increased attack speed per summoned totem, that just works if the totems are all summoned and even if you swap away from it. And this brings us to our next example. We are here at the Mortar Totem Grenadier. That summons mortar totems, so you kind of want to boost grenades, but my second skill is actually my explosive shot to shoot said totems. And one thing you want to have with a crossbow is you want super quick reload speed. Now the thing is, there are nodes for super quick reload speed, but they're useless for your totem, right? Well, what does my totem want to have with reload speed? Therefore, I, for example, have the reload speed on weapon set 2. But then on weapon set 1, I have the increased ballista immobilization build up. I have the +1 totem. I have the attacks used by the ballista have increased attack speed and 50% immobilization buildup. Cool. But I really don't need that on my crossbow. Interestingly enough, though, what I need on my crossbow is defense. Yes, I get tons of evasion rating bonus, when I use my crossbow. This is situational defense, all here with weapon set number 2. My weapon set number 1 has, for example, bonus grenades and bonus grenade projectiles. And they actually stay, right? These bonus projectiles, they stay even if I swap away. This means now I summon my totems, and my totems will make me more tanky for being summoned in general. And if I then swap over to my crossbow, boom, I get, what? Yeah. The thing is, though, when I engage mobs, I will summon my totems ahead of me. Always. I will always summon my totems ahead of me. And then I will run around and shoot my explosive shots into the mortars the totems through. So obviously, I want to be as tanky as possible in the moment where I explosive shot around. Now, since the explosive shot is not there to be doing damage, I really only want to boost the reload speed and then my defense. And on top, I have a funny note that says allies in your presence have 6% increased attack speed. Yep, that gives my totems a faster attack speed if I then swap to those weapon points to empower them further. An interesting one is also the Hollow Palm Ice Strike Monk, because what are you going to use weapon points here for? I pretty much need all my critical strike for the Ice Strike and also for the Falling Thunder. That I can nuke them with like the 453% critical strike damage bonus and the 56.81%. However, the Falling Thunder is only being used if I have fully charged up power charges in very few use case scenarios. I'm not using it all the time. I'm always using the Ice Strike and the Shattering Palm, though. I'm using them continuously. This means I could now use my weapon set 1 to have my defensive notes be completely weapon set 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. So these defensive notes are now weapon set 1 because I continuously Ice Strike. Therefore, Ice Strike, Shattering Palm, all that kind of stuff, they're all going to be weapon set 1. They're not going to be weapon set 2. Everything is pretty much weapon set 1, right? I want them all maximum defense at any given point. I want weapon set 1. And then I have Falling Thunder on weapon set 2. Because Falling Thunder is lightning damage and critical, so I could boost more critical. I have these 4 points put over. Now I can check what can I do to empower Falling Thunder. I could do something like bonus attack damage and chance to build up additional combo points and 20% increased attack damage plus skilled steel increased damage consuming combo points. Okay, if I play Culmination, that would work. I could also increase lightning damage and then say here 30% increased critical hit chance against enemies with exposure. Aha! If I apply elemental exposure, at that moment, my Falling Thunder will have an even higher critical strike chance. Or, since my enemies will always be blinded, I can put 5 points in here, and this says 50% increased critical hit chance against blinded enemies. The enemy I fight at this point will always be blinded. Ergo, if I then swap over to my Falling Thunder, bam! Higher crit chance, better damage. And that I can do now for every single defensive note. We can pull them all out, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then apply them to weapon set 1, and identify again what 5 more points for Falling Thunder. Simple increased attack damage, and maybe a chance to daze, doesn't matter, but that's another huge boost for the Falling Thunder that I don't need on the Ice Strike. The Ice Strike already does enough damage, but the Falling Thunder can need that boost. Next up, a really creative application. This is my Gas Grenade Pathfinder. That spreads joy and charm with gas grenades, which is chaos damage. I do have a curse I use to increase said chaos damage. That means I have 2 skills that really matter. That would be my gas grenade in weapon set 1 with a huge amount of poison magnitude. That goes up to 22,371 and that was 6 different stacks. And then I have my despair that I want to lower the chaos resistance as much as humanly possible and also to stay up as long as possible. Now we're going to go into the tree. What could I do with weapon set 1 and weapon set 2? I could now say Gas Grenade has all the poison nodes, right? Because that's what we're going to be using Gas Grenade predominantly for. So pull out all the poison points and assign them to weapon set 1. And then for weapon set 2, we have the curse. But the curse is nowhere close. I got to go all the way over here for grenade skills and what so not sits, right? That's also where a lot of my weapon set sits right away for grenade skills. But what we have over on the side, if you now go for curse, is a lot of curse nodes, and this would be increased area of effect of curses and magnitude of curses. And enemies affected by curses are also reduced 15% movement speed. Plus up here would be another increased duration of ailments you inflict against cursed enemies. My poison will actually stay longer and more curse magnitude. And over here would be another curse duration potentially. Well, I got weapon set points to spend, so we might as well go for dexterity, intelligence, dexterity, and then already put the first two in here. Now I just gotta identify more poison points that the curse doesn't need. So all these points are being pulled out again, right? And then we're gonna put in even more poison points. Yes, fantastic. We want all the points to be just that. I got another 9 points I can now spend without worrying. So we boost this one up, make our way all the way to the tibbity-tobbity here. And now if I spend my curse, it will have an 18% increased magnitude already. It will have another 8% increased magnitude, increased area of effect of curses. So my curse is now officially with weapon set 2, right? And my crossbow being set to weapon set 1 and 2. Vastly bigger and more effective. Now the final interesting one will be the warrior. He gets something really cool happening, because totems take the base attack speed from your current equipped weapon. I have a hammer, and a hammer is relatively slow with 1.1 attacks per second. Well, I do also have a quarterstaff, so I'm actually using 2 different weapons in this case, right? And a quarterstaff has 1.4 attacks per second. Both weapons have a good amount of damage, 600 and 600. So the actual damage of the totem does not go down for using weapon set 1 or weapon set 2, right? That's 2,000, and we get actually 3,000 there. Kind of cool. And if I now summon the totems, though, with a quarterstaff, it will attack quicker than if I would summon it with a warhammer. And obviously, we do have on the weapon set for the totems, which would be weapon set 2, we have all the respective totem points with more elemental resistance, and we get the bonus +1 to totem, and we get 1 here, up here, the bonus placement speed, and the increase, all of the stuff that matters for totem. And then for our fissure, which is our skill number 2 on weapon set 1, and also the forge hammer, all on weapon set 1, we want to boost fire damage. So I got gain physical damage extra fire damage, damage against burning enemies. I got damage penetrates fire resistance. I have here, my mace skills have a chance to create aftershocks. Well, that's useless for the totem. The totem is not a mace skill for aftershocks, right? But my fissure is a skill that can do bonus aftershocks. So obviously that should only be on the fissure, with an even more burning penetration. As you can see, weapon sets are something that works for everyone, for everything, and you can use it already while leveling. I'm currently going for an explosive shot grenade build on a Pathfinder, and I am looking to boost grenade skills and crossbow skills. Therefore, the bonus projectile and the increased area of effect, these two could already be weapon swap points. The bonus cooldown, you don't want to weapon swap because it actually goes away and doesn't come back if you weapon swap to it. It has to then regenerate the cooldown. But if I now make these 2 weapon swap points in the next levels, I can also get the bonus crossbow reload speed, and then my explosive shot gets reloaded faster, because right now it's relatively slow. Both skills do want, though, the bonus 40% two-handed weapon damage. Both skills want the bonus projectile damage. But again, both skills don't want the crossbow reload speed, as the crossbow also doesn't want a reduced grenade detonation time, right? And the crossbow does not want grenades have a chance to activate a second time. So I can merely spend these points to actually empower the crossbow to make those projectiles stronger, reload faster. Or for example, here I have a 30% for crossbow reload to be immediate, and or bolts fired by crossbow attacks have a chance to not expend ammunition if you reloaded recently. How bad to have, just useless for the grenade. Ladies and gentlemen, any questions left for weapon swap points for your class, please do put them in the comments below. And if you want to see now 2 of these amazing builds that I've just shown you, enjoy and take care.